Welcome, patrons to
Hello.
the pre-show.
Pre-show. It is the show, and there's Rhino drinking some water. Look at you drinking that water, Mr. McNulty. How you doing, man? You doing good?
Doing good.
Oh
Doing good.
yeah. It's a Keith show pre-show. So we're just gonna do this for like the whole
Janetti,
pre-show. We're just gonna do fly, Ryan. Just fly away. Oh my God. Okay, where are we going? What are we what are we doing with our lives, man? It feels let's sort of
what, watching
analyze this.
wrestling or
No,
just in
just us,
general?
man. It's sort of getting me to think about like all the things that we've grown up doing. Like I started talking to you guys when I was 14, so it's just insane that even though time has gone by, I'm not gonna say grow up. I don't think we've grown out in a good way. Like I think a lot of people as they get older, they try to be adults, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like how do
that's
you feel
never
about that?
happened for me. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I try and a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have time for this anymore. I don't have time for I don't have time for video games. I don't have time for this or whatever. It's like bullshit. Like, make time for the things that you like. Don't just become this zombie that's like stuck doing things that don't make you happy. So, I don't know. I think it's nice to still have those things that even though you like them as a kid, you like them too. Like, I'll still play Pokemon games. Like, I don't give a damn. Like, I'm not going to be like, "Oh, just cuz I'm this age, I can't play Pokemon anymore." Like, just do what you want to do. Have fun.
Yeah, man, like that's really what it should be all about. Like, I'm actually taking part in this summer backlog challenge. We have a friend that he does a Nintendo podcast. He's like this huge retro gamer. Like, just recently he upgraded to like a PS3, PS4 stuff and all that. So he is super about like Nintendo, like NES, Genesis. And I signed up for this summer backlog challenge. So he actually puts out a trophy. Like the winner, basically, it's somebody that completes the most amount of games in the summer, in the summer until like September. You have to like document specific ways to make sure you're not cheating. So I wanted to actually share with you and get some of your feedback. These are the games that I put in my list. So I put WrestleMania 19 because even though I beat that story mode, I last time I beat it was like whoa, like 2008. I want to say something like that. You finished that
Long
story
time
mode,
ago.
right?
Of course, I've finished it at least twice.
Then I also put in Gun. I don't know if you've heard about that game. Not too many
I've
people
heard of
played it.
it. Don't know too much about it though.
That was made from the Tony Hawk people, so it's like a Western third-person shooter, and it's super underrated. Like I'm actually gonna do a videos of these for my VidMe channel, so cheap plug, which is also up on YouTube. So I'm also gonna do Typing of the Dead, Modern Warfare 2, and The Last Guardian. Now, The Last Guardian, man, as somebody that I know that Breath of the Wild sort of pumped you up, right, to get back into these single player games.
Yes, for
I know you're
sure.
limited for some consoles. You don't have like what is accessible to you right now?
I mean, honestly, anything except for actually any system is technically accessible to me right now because my roommate actually has one of my roommates has the Wii U, my other roommate has the Switch, Xbox One, and PS4. I have a PS3. I have my computer. I got a Super Nintendo. I got a Dreamcast. I got a Wii. So a lot of things are accessible, but certain stuff like The Last Guardian, I've been wanting to play that for a very long time. It's been so long actually that I almost like kind of stopped caring now that it's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
out. I'm just like, oh, it's out now, I can play it whenever. Like, I'll wait till the price goes down or whatever, because I if I want to play it, I'm still gonna have to buy the game even though I don't own a PS4. So it's kind of that thing. Like, I did that for 2K16 WWE, and it's like there's only a few games that I like really like. I bought Breath of the Wild even though I don't own a Wii U just to play it on my friend's Wii U. Like, if it's a game I really really want to play, I will go that extra mile. I haven't done that quite yet for The Last Guardian, but I do really want to play it.
I actually got that game about 3 weeks after it came out for 15 bucks. I sometimes go to these different pawn shops, like our local pawn shops. They have like small gaming sections, and most of the time it's stuff that's crap. It's overly scratched, and I was about to leave, but then I see the Last Guardian like just to its side, and I'm thinking, eh. Then I see the $15 price tag, but I notice all the other games are labeled by their name. This one says generic PS4 game. So I guess it wasn't in the system. I don't know if it's because like they didn't know it was a real game or not, that it just came out. I looked at the disc and it was brand new, like not a single scratch. So I've yet to play it. We actually have a supporter of the show, TMK Tanner. Every week, almost every week, he will call me out on Twitter for not playing that game, despite the fact that I remember telling him back in like October, man, I'm ready to play this. I'm ready to play this. And it sort of speaks, like even though we don't grow out, availability becomes more limited, right? Like because of work, like a lot of times, like, you have a long commute. I have a long commute. And I know Keith has a shorter commute, but you sometimes go home, and even though you love to tackle that backlog, which I just ordered like 20 crappy PS2 games, by the way, uh, you,
Of
you don't
course.
you don't want to get to it somehow, So like, what's your take on that? Like the backlogs? Do you have a backlog, like games that you look and you go like, I'm beating you in the next year?
Backlogs are dangerous. I've found that if I buy multiple games at one time, I will play almost none of them. But yeah, speaking from experience over there, yeah. But see, Breath of the Wild was a very important game for me because it got me back into realizing I can make time for single player games. I do have patience for single player games because I before this for like the last year I'd been playing Overwatch and like Hearthstone games where you can get a few games in, drop out at any time. It doesn't have it only takes up as much time as you want it to. And then I played Breath of the Wild and I'm like, man, I miss single player games. So even yeah, not even without the Switch, I can still make time for it. So after Breath of the Wild, I played through Skyward Sword, which is still not that great of a game because motion controls suck. Um,
Ocarina of Time has held up really well. Well, to
yeah,
clarify, I started playing the 3DS version, and that's freaking good. Like, I was
yeah, I still need
worried
to get the
after playing
3DS
Breath of the
version.
Wild. Man, it looks so great. Like it looks, I don't know. I hope this makes sense. It looks how you think the N64 version looked. Like, when you go back, it looks
Yeah,
a lot
yeah, no,
uglier.
and the graphics are way worse than you thought. And actually, now I've been watching. I don't think there's any cooler speed run of a game than Ocarina of Time. I don't know if you've ever seen it on Games Done
Flips and
Quick.
flips and flips and
Yeah,
flips and
there's so
flips.
many cool techniques, and I watch a guy on Twitch, Clint Stevens, who's a pretty entertaining guy, but he's trying to get the 100% run. Now, the route for an 100% run of Ocarina of Time is the weirdest thing you'll ever see because they can like manipulate certain parts of the game, sort of like you used to do the missing no glitch in Pokemon. You could kind of
Yeah, yeah.
you could manipulate the way the game works to do something weird. In this, you can kind of like manipulate the warp points after you kill a boss to like legitimately. And the people who are like beating this game now, like for any completion, like any percent, after you beat the Deku Tree, you can warp to Ganon's castle, like by messing with stuff. So people who are
Wow.
just trying to beat the game straight up will just fight Ganon from there. As a kid, mind you, you're as a child still. So, but like 100%, they'll use that warp point to like get an item, and they do it on this crazy order. Like they'll do some of Dodongo's cavern as an adult. It's so friggin' weird and cool with how many like out of sequence breaking things you do. But all that was a long spiel to say I got more into single player games. Now my roommate challenged me to play Dark Souls, which is a notoriously hard game, and I'm having a blast with it. I have like two bosses left. I've been doing the
Oh
DLC
wow. So you've
bosses.
been going hard.
Oh yeah, and I bought the other two were on sale on Steam, so I bought Dark Souls 2 and 3, so I'll be playing those. But yeah, I'm almost done. Like I'm doing the. You have to do the DLC stuff before you do the final boss because your game will reset. And you go to like New Game Plus the second you kill the last
Have you heard
boss.
about the game The Surge?
No, I heard there's a lot of like Souls
It's
clone type
basically
games
no,
out there.
it looks pretty good. Like it's already a full release, and it's basically Dark Souls sci-fi. So like robots and all that, but it takes the Dark Soul world and like the
Yeah,
whole difficult nature
yeah.
of
I
that type of game.
really, I, I really dig it because a it's challenging. So when you beat the game. It is like a very rewarding feeling, but also it's got the RPG elements, but it's like that really intense, like intuitive gameplay where it's like about, dodging, you have your sword, you have your shield, like you're trying to block moves and stuff. So it's like very engaging combat with the RPG elements. So it's kind of like, you know, like it's more engaging combat than something like Fallout, which has that all RPG stuff. So it's like really the best of both worlds. Like you get the
Yeah.
stats and stuff, but you also get the
It's a
awesome
really nice
combat.
balance, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Byte Club, hope you enjoyed that sneak peek at our weekly 10-minute show that we do every single week before the podcast kicks off. We talk about video games, we talk about energy drinks, and all of this is possible because of Patreons, patreon.com/ByteThat.